The air was different that night, heavy, electric, humming with something ancient. The moon stood veiled behind a shadow, and the world seemed to hold its breath. The collective could feel it, a great shifting, an energy so dense it pressed against the chest. Something was being eclipsed. No one saw it coming, yet every soul had sensed it. Behind smiles and promises, in dimly lit rooms and whispering corridors, plans had been drawn. 3 figures sat around a silver table, their faces half hidden in shadow. A contract glimmered between them, a deal written in secrecy and sealed in pride. It was supposed to be simple: block the light, control the flow, stop the rebirth. They had learned how to intercept messages, twist truth, and bury evidence. They called it strategy. Spirit called it karma in the making. For a while, it worked. The collective stumbled through storms that weren't their own. They lost things: people, opportunities, peace, not realizing that behind their misfortune, invisible hands were moving pieces on a board. But when you tamper with divine order, the cosmos keeps score. Then came the eclipse. Across the sky, a shadow slid across the sun, and with it, truth. The veil cracked. What was hidden began to surface. The whispers became screams. The manipulators, the so-called magicians, were losing their power. The energy they had stolen began to recoil. The first one felt it in his chest, a pressure, a weight, a realization that the power he'd clung to was turning against him. The second began to lose everything he'd built on lies. The third simply disappeared, swallowed by the silence of his own despair. The collective, once trapped in chaos, began to awaken. They saw that their delay, their detour, had been divine protection. What was withheld had saved them. The universe had paused their blessings until deceit could no longer touch them. Now, standing in the aftermath, they understood. Not everything lost was a punishment. Some losses were deliverance. Meanwhile, a woman, the one they called the magician, stood in her quiet home. She had been their target, the spark they tried to snuff out. Yet every attack had only sharpened her light. What they didn't know was that she, too, held ancient knowledge. Her magic wasn't born from control, but from alignment. She whispered gratitude into the night, and the winds answered. Her ancestors had heard her prayers long before she spoke them aloud. The storm had been her initiation, the eclipse, her crown. Far away, the ones who plotted in secret watched their empires tremble. The power they had craved became their undoing. Their names, once spoken with reverence, now carried weight like stones sinking in deep water. Their masks fell away, their reputations eclipsed. The collective, reborn, rose from the ruins with clarity. They learned that fear feeds illusion, and gratitude feeds miracles. No longer would they invest in false promises or shiny distractions. The lesson had been carved into their souls. Everything that glitters isn't gold. Sometimes it is a warning. And so, as dawn broke and the light returned, a new world began to breathe. The old order, the secret circles, the silent watchers, faded into myth. What remained was truth, raw and radiant. The eclipse had not ended them. It had revealed them. Some would call it judgment. Others would call it justice, but the wise would call it balance, the universe's quiet way of setting things right. Because when the light returns after the shadow, what's left standing is real. And that is the true magic of the collective.